Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a totally crucial, foundational topic for Class 10 mathematics today. If you're prepping for your board exams, you are exactly where you need to be. We're going to take probability and make it completely visual, logical, and honestly, super easy to master.
So think about this. Have you ever wondered why a fair coin gives a 50-50 chance? Or why every single number on a fair die has an equal probability of showing up? It's something we just kind of take for granted, right? Like when we toss a coin to see who bats first in cricket. But today, we are going to master the actual mathematics behind this, equally likely outcomes, in the easiest and most visual way possible.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll be covering the probability foundation, mapping out sample space and outcomes, unlocking the golden probability formula, solving some classic exam examples, looking at rules and real-world uses, and wrapping up with exam tricks and common mistakes. All right, let's dive into Section 1, the probability foundation. We're looking at the core concept of chance. Okay, so to calculate probability mathematically, we have to start on a level playing field. And that brings us to our main topic, equally likely outcomes. By definition, these are outcomes that have the absolute exact same chance of occurring. Literally, every outcome is equally probable. Think about tossing a fair coin. You've got heads and you've got tails. Both of them have an equal 1 out of 2 chance of landing face up. The probability of heads is exactly equal to the probability of tails, which is 1/2. This simple, perfect balance, that is the entire foundation of calculated probability. But wait, there's a catch. There is a strict condition for this to actually work. Equally likely outcomes only happen in fair experiments. A fair coin where heads and tails are equally likely, or a fair die where all 6 numbers have the exact same shot. But what if a coin is biased? Or what if a die is completely loaded so it always lands on a 6? Suddenly the outcomes are not equally likely anymore. We're dealing with unfair experiments. For our calculations today, and for pretty much all of your board exam questions, we are strictly operating in the realm of fair experiments. Moving smoothly right along to Section 2, sample space and outcomes. Let's map out the possibilities. Before we can even think about calculating the chance of something happening, we need to know everything that could possibly happen, right? This is called your sample space. The sample space is simply all possible outcomes of an experiment. It's totally crucial because it gives us the total number of outcomes. If you don't know the full set of possibilities, well, you just can't calculate probability accurately. Let's look at some standard sample spaces you absolutely need to recognize instantly for your exams. Take a single coin toss. The sample space is just H and T. 2 outcomes. Simple. Now, rolling a standard die. The sample space is the set of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, so 6 outcomes. But here's the one that trips up so many students, tossing 2 coins. The sample space isn't just 3 things, it's 4 specific combinations. You could get head-head, head-tail, tail-head, or tail-tail. Getting super comfortable writing these out, that's literally half the battle won. Okay, once we have our total sample space, we have to identify what we're actually looking for. These are our favorable outcomes. Just think of favorable outcomes as the specific winners we want in our experiment. Let's say we roll a die, and our goal is to get an even number. Our total sample space is 1 through 6, but our favorable outcomes, our winners, are just 2, 4, and 6. So out of 6 possible outcomes, we have exactly 3 favorable ones. With our vocabulary locked in, we are fully ready for Section 3, the golden probability formula. This is the mathematical engine for Class 10. All right, this is it. This beautiful, elegant formula is the holy grail. When outcomes are equally likely, probability becomes unbelievably easy to calculate. P of E equals N of E divided by N of S. Write this down, memorize it, dream about it. This is your ultimate key to solving virtually every equally likely outcome problem you're going to face. Let's translate this into plain English so you know exactly where to plug your numbers in. P of E stands for the probability of event E. That's the final chance of your event actually happening. N of E is the number of favorable outcomes, those winners we talked about earlier. And N of S is the total number of possible outcomes, your entire sample space. So, at the end of the day, probability simply equals favorable outcomes divided by total outcomes. Let's move from theory straight into action. Section 4, solving classic exam examples. Whenever you face a probability word problem, I want you to use this foolproof 3-step cheat code. Step 1, write the sample space out so you can find your total outcomes. Step 2, find the favorable outcomes.
Literally just count up exactly what the question is asking you for. Step 3, apply the probability formula by dividing Step 2 by Step 1. Let's practice this together right now.
Let's see how this works with a classic playing card problem. A standard deck contains 52 cards. Find the probability of drawing a heart. Okay, Step 1, total outcomes? Well, that's our 52 cards. Step 2, favorable outcomes. How many hearts are actually in a deck? There are 13 hearts. Step 3, the formula. Probability equals 13 divided by 52. And of course, we simplify that beautiful fraction straight down to 1/4, a 1/4 chance. See? Super easy when you follow the steps. All right, let's level up to a slightly more complex board exam favorite, tossing 3 coins. The question asks, find the probability of getting exactly 2 heads. First up, the sample space. If you methodically list them out, HHH, HHT, HTH, THH, HTT, THT, TTH, TTT, you'll see there are exactly 8 total possible outcomes. Now, step 2, we want exactly 2 heads. Scanning the list, we have HHT, HTH, and THH. That gives us exactly 3 favorable outcomes. Plug it into our golden formula, 3 divided by 8. Boom, the probability is simply 3/8. Let's do one more classic practical scenario. A bag contains 5 red balls and 3 blue balls. Find the probability of selecting a red ball. Total balls in the bag? Well, 5 plus 3 equals 8 total outcomes. Favorable outcomes? We want a red ball, and there are 5 of them. So, 5 favorable outcomes divided by 8 total outcomes gives us a straightforward probability of 5/8. Honestly, once you understand sample space and favorable outcomes, probability isn't just easy, it's actually kind of fun. Now that we've crushed the math, let's look at the absolute rules governing chance in Section 5, Probability Rules and Real-World Uses. Think about the number 1. In probability, 1 represents absolute, unavoidable certainty. There are strict boundaries you must remember for your exams. Rule 1. Probability always lies between 0 and 1. You can't have negative probability. Rule 2. An impossible event has a probability of exactly 0. Rule 3. A certain event has a probability of exactly 1. And Rule 4. The sum of probabilities of all possible outcomes in an experiment will always perfectly equal 1. Keep these boundaries in your back pocket to check your work. And hey, keep in mind, these aren't just arbitrary exam questions designed to stress you out. Equally likely outcomes and probability form the foundation for mathematical models used literally everywhere in the real world. They power lottery systems, your favorite video games, and deep sports analysis. They are absolutely vital for computer simulations, artificial intelligence, predicting the weather on your phone, and calculating financial risk. Even your favorite social media apps use these exact probability concepts daily to understand randomness. As we wrap up today's masterclass, it's time for Section 6, Exam Tricks and Common Mistakes. Let me give you the insider secrets. Let's start with the classic traps that cost students precious marks. The absolute biggest one, not actually writing the sample space out. Don't do it in your head. Always write out all outcomes. Another huge trap is rushing and miscounting your favorable outcomes. Also, remember our rules. If you calculate a probability of 1.5, hit the brakes. That's mathematically impossible. Finally, beware of ignoring the fair experiment condition or doing something silly like flipping your fraction and putting total outcomes on top. To counter those traps, here are your rapid-fire cheat codes. First, always write the sample space before doing any math. As you list your outcomes, physically circle the favorable ones with your pen so you don't miscount. When you get your answer, leave it as a simplified fraction. It's way safer than messing around with decimals. Always verify that outcomes are actually equally likely. And if you get a multi-coin problem, just draw a quick table. These habits are going to build total confidence. Let's do one final rapid-fire revision. P of E equals N of E divided by N of S. Favorable outcomes divided by total outcomes. But before we go, I want you to consider this. If probability governs everything from a simple coin toss all the way up to complex artificial intelligence, is anything in our universe truly random, or are we just waiting to discover the right sample space? Think about that. If this explainer helped you understand equally likely outcomes easily, then like the explainer, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Practice multiple probability questions regularly to build your speed. Let's make math simple and fun together. Catch you next time.